Good evening, everyone. You're listening to the Hookah N Headlocks Podcast, episode 10. I'm Cameron. I'm accompanied with Joe.
Hello.
Anthony.
Hi.
Archie.
Hi.
John.
Hey.
And let's start off with the regular routine. Joe, what are we having?
Archie, what am I smoking?
Joe, you are smoking Messiah Cherry with a mix of banger sweet dreams.
Okay. Accompanied by a strawberry lemonade candy hooker tip.
Did we just redo that?
No.
No, let's go ahead.
No, we're
Anthony,
live.
what are you smoking? No,
It's
we're
alive.
live, folks.
Well, I'm smoking Tangees cane mint with must-have ruby grape and must-have cola.
Nice.
Yeah. Archie, how about yourself?
I am smoking a mix of Tangiers Cashmere Peach with Trifecta Twice the Ice. John, what are you smoking?
I'm smoking must-have lemon lime and Azure Bermuda mint.
And I'm having 90% of my Alpha K mint and 10% of John's.
Rip in the chat.
Because that's the last of it all.
John, Cameron, that 10% is going to cost you.
It is very
You'll
costly.
get the invoice after the
It's going to
podcast.
cost you.
I'll make up for it. In love. So, just to keep everyone updated or see what's happening in the background here, we are actually watching Set of Origin Game 3 because, we've got no other reason to record this and watch the game at the same time, I guess, guys.
We're all disappointed New South Welshmen tonight.
Yep.
No need to delay the podcast.
Yeah.
Wrestling comes first this week.
Yeah, we've got priorities.
We also have prize.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, just to go through today's show, we are going through what happened this past week on SmackDown and on Raw, post Money in the Bank. And it seems there's going to be some interesting build-up in SmackDown realm of things. First thing I want to go through is, did you guys see what happened before SmackDown started with LA Knight?
I heard about it, but I
Yeah.
just didn't watch it.
Yeah, he cleared out Hit Row.
Wow.
A fan favourite.
Yeah. And looks like a potential face turn.
Yeah, well, the reports during the week were they are gearing to turn him
Babyface.
as if we haven't already accepted him as a babyface. So I'm glad they're listening to us.
Yeah,
Was
it's
that
about time.
cautious? Was that cautious on their behalf?
Well, it was not filmed, but everyone just announced it, and they even showed it on the websites and their videos on Facebook and Insta.
So it was filmed, and it was before SmackDown went on air.
Yeah.
And
Have they done that to be cautious?
I'm not really
What,
sure.
were they worried the crowd were going to boo him?
Well, anything off camera is considered dark, so it's always to see what happens and see if it works out.
yeah, for a non-televised segment to reach nearly 1.5 million views in less than a week, that tells you something about LA Knight and his star power already.
Not
Yeah.
only that, he's actually in the top 5 of merchandise sales last month.
I believe it,
Yeah.
especially after WrestleMania. Being white hot, they just got to strike now.
Yep. Yeah, not waste time. But but to kick off, we'll go through all the USO Bloodline Civil War that's happened this past week.
The tribal court, whatever it was.
Tribal court, tribal chief.
Yeah, Tribal Queef.
Yeah,
Yeah.
him too.
Yeah, took an interesting turn of events there, hey Joe.
Well, we thought originally it was in Madison Square Garden. Roman was announced.
Yeah.
And what my reckoning was, the trial of Sami Zayn, that happened before WrestleMania, obviously.
Yes.
So I thought it was going to be something like that, but this was a lot more straightforward. It wasn't as dramatic as the one with Sami Zayn. I thought the one with Sami Zayn on Raw was
Overplayed.
overplayed,
Over.
very tongue-in-cheek, and it wasn't taken too seriously. This one was a lot more straightforward. So this had Jay, and then it had Roman, and Roman took off the luau, what's it called?
A Joe Blue Eyes plague.
The
No,
lay.
he's not.
Yeah, the necklace thing.
He took it from around his neck. He got on 2 knees, gave it to Jay. Then he looked like he was going to hand Jay the world title
Yep.
till he low blowed him. Now Roman cried as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
some very heartfelt, I can't do this anymore, I'm done, I'm finished.
That goes back to the early Bloodline days.
2020.
When he didn't have the heart, or we thought he didn't have the heart to put away Jay in those matches, realising the error of his ways, all just to be swerved.
So after Roman hits the low blow, then we got Carnage. What happened then, Ken?
Pretty much Solo and Roman dominated the Usos, and Jimmy ended up being stretched out.
When he got attacked by Solo.
Yeah, when he got splashed
Yeah.
through the table.
So my thing with all this has been throughout is that they're family. It's not like they're just a faction or rivalry that aren't blood related. And they're going to keep trying to make things right. Surely now, for the short term, it seems all bets are off.
Yeah.
Surely we're not going to get next week or the week after on Raw, for argument's sake, or SmackDown, them trying to make amends again. Surely now we're getting
It's the end of it all.
other sides. We've
As
got
we'll see later on the show,
side.
yeah.
We've got one side, which I think is about time. It's obviously set up. As we'll see later on, we're going to talk about the end of the show now as well. Yeah.
Might as well. What's in topic?
Well, we had it was Solo against at the end the match. What was the main event?
The main event?
Oh, what brought us Jay? What brought us Jay and Solo?
Oh, so they announced that Heyman announced that Jay's coming back to confront Roman and Solo again.
After he'd gone to the hospital with his brother.
Yep.
Yep.
And got the better hand of both Roman and Solo with a few chair hits. And yeah, pretty much challenging him at SummerSlam.
He was left in the middle of the ring with that world title.
Yeah.
So things have come full circle from 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He made it pretty vague as well. He was just saying, I want you, Roman, one-on-one.
Mhm.
He didn't specify
Well,
which match we're at.
It's obviously going to set up for SummerSlam.
Yeah. But he kind of left it up in the air to have us think about it.
We are now
We're about just under
3 weeks.
3.5 weeks
3.5
away.
weeks are out. So it looks like our main event, or might be a co-main event. I can't see anything with Brock or Cody going ahead, or a Judgment Day challenger against Seth Rollins. I really can't see anything being the main event or the last match apart from Jay and Roman. So it looks like that'll be our SummerSlam main event.
But no, I'll go back a few minutes from what we were speaking about with the battle between the two, or between the four, I should say. We had a little bit more long-term storytelling with Solo holding the necklace.
Looked at it again.
Yeah.
Shades of Batista looking at the world title all those years ago.
Yep, Solo, he gave it a good look as it was sitting on the ground, and then he picks it up, and then he hesitates giving it to Roman before he eventually hands it over.
If I had to ask you guys now, will Roman, Paul Heyman and Solo still be on the same page come Survivor Series?
I'd imagine they probably would, but by then there might be a lot of dissension between Roman and Solo. I think so.
If we're led to believe, sorry John, and if we're led to believe it's still going to be Roman and Cody Rhodes, which I don't think is wishful thinking, I think they're still heading that way at WrestleMania next year. It looks like the Solo Roman program will be around the Royal Rumble,
Yeah, potentially go that way.
and Solo fails in his chance. Well, we're
Let's
predicting
believe.
Jay will fail. Jimmy comes back. Jimmy challenges him at Survivor Series. Maybe that's where the turn happens with Solo. Jimmy fails. Solo fails.
Pending what happens at Survivor Series.
There's a long way.
Lots to go.
I reckon after SummerSlam, we'll probably know for sure what's going to happen at Survivor Series.
Well, maybe we get a return of Jimmy. Maybe Jimmy will be off TV for 3 weeks and we'll get a return of Jimmy.
Yeah, the way like they showed him being taken to the hospital.
You
Maybe
think,
it's him being
it
written off.
seems like they're probably going to write him off TV, and he could potentially return at SummerSlam.
Has what they done with Cody Rhodes diminished the whole medical facility, medical centre, hospital angle? That Cody Rhodes could come back so quickly?
I don't think so. I think that was just playing. I think that part was probably just playing into Cody Rhodes' character. You could say he's like a Captain America.
Heroic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
just ultra heroic.
So if Jimmy comes back next week, is anyone going to blink an eye?
Well, they probably with Jimmy. I think they probably will.
Well, not to get technical, but with Cody, it was mainly targeted on the arm. And they never said anything was... Did they say anything was broken?
They said he had a broken arm.
They said he had a broken arm.
Initially,
I think it was
before
the
Yeah.
Night of Champions, they did.
So I'm not too sure how long a broken arm puts you on the shelf for. But they did cover it literally and figuratively by putting that iron cast around him.
And
So it didn't take any of his ability to wrestle still.
I guess like he did wear the cast a bit too long. Like he was wearing it for a long time.
He did, but you do believe it since he continued to wrestle with the broken arm, so it's believable.
Yeah.
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 I still see, I know predicted for SummerSlam being the main event, fatal four-way between all members of the Bloodline, But if there's a way they can make it happen in between, maybe for Survivor Series, as to keep the interest of, is there a chance Roman might drop the belt? Will Solo continue to fall in line before having Solo turn? Maybe that's a way to do it. Having the Fatal 4-Way and they all go together, they all go at it together.
Maybe.
It could be.
Yeah, I'm not denying your prediction so far yet. It could potentially happen at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
Cam, I'll throw this question to you. You're probably the most adverse in this, even though I don't think you were watching at the time, and it was just before my time as well. They built up Sting and Hulk Hogan for 18 months or so, and then the match at Starrcade. Forget about the schmozzle that happened there, but it was probably one of, if not the most well-built matches in history. Does anyone care that Lex Luger won the title a few months before Sting did, before dropping it back to Hogan?
To be honest, I don't think many people remember it.
Yeah. So what I'm asking here is, once again, I know I try not to get too far ahead. If Roman drops the title to either Jimmy, Jay, or Solo, and we're still to believe that's going to be Cody and Roman at WrestleMania, does that diminish Cody's story and journey?
I think just with the sheer fact that...
And say Roman wins it back for Mania, I'm saying,
Yeah. With Cody being on the other show, I think that diminishes everything. I think they should have drafted him to SmackDown to keep it going, to be the potential Mania match. Now that Cody's on the other side of things, it seems more or less likely he's going to go after Seth, especially after what happened last week on the kickoff when he showed up at the beginning.
I think we're tend to believe Cody, at the beginning of all new programs for that Seth World title, we tend to believe Cody will come out to attempt the challenge for it, but he'll never have the actual match for it.
Kind of like teaser.
Yeah. Such as the tournament, and such as Brock Lesnar coming back out and attacking him 2 weeks ago on Raw.
Yeah.
It's always going to be a tease with this Seth Rollins belt that Cody's going to go for the second ranking world title.
But he'll never obviously get his
He'll
shot.
never touch it.
Because even then, with that, him and Seth had the rivalry when Cody debuted.
Yeah.
So
They had the 3 matches.
And we see how they played on Seth and Finn from years ago as well.
yeah.
Interesting to say the least.
I don't know, just quickly, it was because like Cameron just touched on Cody's on Raw and Roman's on SmackDown. I think
Yeah, but there can be a shake-up. Sorry, Cody, but there can be a superstar
I don't think they really have to be the shake-up because you got to remember there is Elimination Chamber in February. Maybe the winner of said chamber match becomes number 1 contender for a title.
Shawn Michaels won the Royal Rumble twice. 2 years in a row, failed in 95, won again 96, no one blinked an eye there.
But like the thing is now with social media and all that, and the way, and I think these days fans are just probably a whole lot more toxic compared to the 90s.
I think that's changed a bit in the last year or so, though. I think the fans have come to the party as well. The fans have appreciated it.
But I think
They believe a little bit more.
But I think if Cody wins another Rumble, I don't know how the fans will feel. So I think probably just have the Elimination Chamber match at the pay-per-view, and then the winner can challenge for whichever title doesn't get picked at Rumble.
When's the last time we've had an Elimination Chamber match for a number 1 contender for Mania?
I think
Shayna?
Men's.
Probably 2018.
Yeah, before COVID.
That was
So
when
that's a
Roman
while
Reigns,
ago.
ironically enough, won.
So that'll have to be a 5-year 6-year callback if they do in 2024 next year.
Because I think that's probably the only way they could have Cody challenge Roman without him winning the Rumble. Because I don't think they'll have him win it again. Like that's obviously just my opinion, and it's all.
Yeah, no, that's
all
there's a lot of water going on.
But then again, what are we in July? We've got at least 6 to 7 months before we see what happens down there.
Almost feels as if we've already been booked into a corner. It's almost as if Cody has to win another Rumble 2 in a row now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See what happens.
It's the only thing deemed possible at the moment, but I'm not going past Gunther at the moment.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still thinking
Gunther or even LA Knight.
A heel Gunther.
he can challenge for the World Heavyweight Championship at Mania.
Oh, the World Heavyweight title. Yeah,
That's if he doesn't already win it. If he doesn't already win it by next year, the way things are going, you never know.
I can see Gunther being almost a full-time version of Brock Lesnar, where it doesn't matter if you're face or heel. He's just that ass-kicking machine.
He just wants to.
You can't you'll never be able to beat him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see what happens when moving forward with Hulk Cody and whoever's going to challenge Roman at Mania. But yeah, moving forward, we'll go to the first match of SmackDown, which was the US title match between Sheamus and Austin Theory. Theory gets away with murder once again.
Thanks to Pretty Deadly.
Pretty deadly, indeed.
Yeah, and they're bringing back that same old rivalry that happened about a month ago.
Yeah, I thought the rivalry was done and dusted a couple of weeks back, but it looks like they're probably still pushing with it, or maybe it's just a bunch of friends helping out another friend, but not without continuing a feud. I don't know.
I said at the time I don't think we got the blow off for that storyline.
Roland Brutes and
Yeah, you were right.
Austin and Pretty Deadly, yeah.
Wishful thinking. Do you think this ends up in... Wishful thinking. Do you think this ends up with Austin Theory dropping the belt in somewhere secure so Pretty Deadly don't interfere, such as a steel cage?
Could potentially go. that
No,
way.
Pretty Deadly, they'll find a way.
Yeah, we've seen guys still find a way to get involved in a steel cage or a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, we can even go back to Mark Henry Hall of Pain days when he broke the steel cage door.
That was on Big Show?
I think so.
It was on Big Show, so yeah, he didn't start soft.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, like it could potentially happen, but no, we'll see what happens. I feel like if Theory's going to lose it, it's going to be at SummerSlam. It has to be soon.
To the guy who's just seemingly turned face, according to reports, LA Knight. If you want to strike while the iron is hot,
Well, yeah, it looks like LA is a bit free. You think they were going down the line of him versus Logan Paul, but they're
going
to go with Ricochet and Logan Paul for SummerSlam, so it frees up LA.
As we'll see a little bit later when we
Yep.
cover Raw.
Yeah,
That gained some traction.
yeah, definitely. But yeah, that's all we can say for now. But yeah, I think it's due time that Theory will lose it soon.
yeah.
Yeah,
Will it be better off without it?
It's hard to say.
Theory. I think he needs a little revamp again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to keep repeating myself, but how do you beat John Cena and go backwards?
Yeah, that's the big issue here.
Ever since I got rid of his phone, him taking selfies.
Yeah, I've seen people say he was actually better off when he used to take the selfies with his downed opponent every week.
Yeah. Bit of personality.
But yeah, we just it's getting a bit stale now.
It is.
Unless he goes back to that angry heel that he had that when he first did that like massive turn of the heel factor.
Yeah.
If he goes back to that, bring back that it's not a theory, it's a fact.
Should have ran with that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would have worked.
Of course.
Yeah. And then next up was the disappointing match of the night, which was AJ Styles versus Karrion Kross for all 3 minutes.
What happened?
What is going on there? They say there may have been an injury involvement.
Yeah,
Like,
commentators announced that Kross is injured. He did have his leg strapped as well.
Again.
Yeah, strapped pretty heavily, so...
They probably had to cut it fast.
Yeah, but what I found weird was as soon as the match started, Kross hit Styles with the cross hammer and knocked him out. And then straight away he goes to pick him up to put him in the cross jacket to make him tap out or pass out. But AJ breaks out of it. If he got hit by the cross hammer, which over the last couple of years has been a very protected finishing move, shouldn't he be out like a light and just fall to the cross jacket afterwards?
Yeah, there
But it's
wasn't
AJ Styles.
He's phenomenal.
It is.
They don't need each other in the mid card.
No.
No. But I don't
Especially
know.
if AJ's wrapping up soon. You don't want to see him just dwindle in the mid card for now and just put over the. I don't even know if it's putting over talent. It's not. This isn't doing Karrion Kross any
And
good.
it's not doing
No.
Kross any good either because I think I've touched on it in previous episodes. We all know what he's done in NXT and how good he was. Why can't I have him do what he did on NXT on the main roster?
Well, that goes for probably 90% of the call-ups
yeah.
since 2015.
But was like the thing was Karrion Kross was under Triple H in NXT. He's under him in the main roster now, so I don't get why he's taken a complete U-turn with how he's being booked because you could tell back that he was one of Triple H's projects, like, and one of the biggest ones at that. So I don't understand why on the main roster he's constantly losing now, and he lost in 3 minutes to Styles.
Because it may not be 100% as it used to be, but Triple H is still fighting backstage about nearly every step of the way. Every decision he's making, somebody, I think we all know who,
is opposing him.
opposing it
Yeah.
and putting up a fight.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if that's the reason why.
Yep.
But here's a question for all of you: is this probably the end for Cross? Would he be get released soon?
In WWE.
Yeah.
I hope not. Honestly, I hope not
I think
because
it's
he's a
leading to
talent.
it. I think it's leading to it if they don't clean up their act with him.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's time for him to go.
This has been going on for how long, Arch?
Yeah.
Since his main roster debut.
Yeah.
Well, when he returned last year, I instantly thought they had huge plans for him, considering they put him in with McIntyre.
Even his initial debut with the
Jeff Hardy beat him.
Oh, that was
Yeah.
terrible. Well, that was
So
under
we have to
Vince.
go 2 years back
I
now.
was about to say it's 2021, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
So
I think it's either. I think he's got two. There's 3 decisions that he could take. He's either put his foot down and tell him, "Hey, this is I should be booked better," or he's going back to NXT, revamp his career, which has proved it does wonders.
or release
Or
him,
we might see him in a black and gold company soon.
possibly.
Yeah, Black and Gold NXT, yeah.
Black and gold.
I kept it open there. I didn't want to sell anyone out there.
Watch this space.
Yeah, watch this space. Yeah. And then moving on to the main event of the evening, which was only 3 matches of SmackDown, which I find a bit funny.
Very
But
strange.
we
SmackDown
finally,
and Raw were very promo heavy this week.
yeah.
This past week.
But we actually had the debut match for our own homegrown talent. Edge versus Grayson Waller.
Good to finally see with the rig.
So they came about through the Waller effect,
Yeah.
where they spoke about Edge's retirement,
Yep.
and they didn't beat around the bush, and that led us to the match.
Yeah, and sorry to cut you off, Joe, but at the end of the promo, Edge said, "Tonight we're going to find out if you sink or if you swim."
Now, we originally told, and there was even markets on it, that Edge's retirement match was going to be in Toronto on Raw in early August.
Yes.
Now, that's 3 weeks away. Surely that can't be going ahead.
It doesn't seem like it
The way
now.
he was speaking in the promo doesn't look like that. It looks like he's staying for a bit
So what do you
longer.
think's changed? What do you think's changed?
Well, there is still SummerSlam ahead of us, and I don't know if Grayson will be his opponent for SummerSlam, or it could be someone else.
Can you
But
see a Baron Corbin, Kurt Angle thing?
Hopefully not with someone like Edge.
I mean, if there's a way to build up someone, it's retiring Edge, but
Yeah.
I don't see that happening just yet.
No, not just yet. But not only that, it's actually commonly known that if a superstar is injured, they make up for their contract time when they lose in injury time.
That's true.
Yeah,
That's why with AJ Styles.
Yeah. So even he'd be coming or staying around for a little bit longer. Same thing could happen to Edge.
May as well wind it up at WrestleMania. May as well give the biggest stage.
Yeah.
yeah. I think
Especially on a monumental such as 40.
Yeah. And plus, like, it's a calendar wrestling year kind of thing. So why not end it at the end of that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But kudos to Grayson for putting on a good match on his first time ever.
yeah.
And we all heard what Edge said to Grayson afterwards.
He swam.
He said, "Grayson,
You
kid,
swam."
you swam." Even though Grayson Waller lost the
That's
match,
big ups.
he
Pass
he
the
looked
torch.
really good against the Hall of Fame. I came close to beating him as well, and he proved he's not just going to be a pushover for Edge.
Aussie Pride repping hard on SmackDown.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh, throughout the whole main roster. Yeah. But yeah, speaking of Aussie talent, we'll move on to Raw with Finn coming out and blaming Damien for his loss at SummerSlam.
Very straight to the point.
And then out came Dom and Rhea and try to keep it backstage.
Yeah, like he played
Yeah.
Peacemaker.
And before Dom could even get on the mic
Again, he got heavily booed.
by a buffalo wing eating Seth Rollins.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
That was
we're in
great.
Buffalo.
They
Over in Buffalo.
they made clear of that.
So have a guess what Seth will be eating when they go to Kentucky.
No. Pretty sure just a pepperoni pizza.
Do we put, I might have asked this last week, a couple of weeks ago, do we put emphasis on Rhea's post through the week and Finn's post through the week on social media?
I think you mentioned that like last week.
Yeah, like we spoke last week. If it's on Twitter, it sticks to the show, the
Yeah.
storylines and whatnot. If it's on Insta, then it's breaking kayfabe.
Because Rhea's been very social media heavy on her post.
Yeah. She's been sorry to cut you off, Jay. She's been posting a lot of stuff with her fellow Judgment Day members as of late.
I think she's just playing peacekeeper.
Yeah, because that's what she was trying to do on Raw.
So as we see now we'll get to Well, do you want to get to what happens in the main event? Because soon that's my judgment. So tell us what happened in the main event, Ken.
So yeah, it's all started. Or the show started off with Judgment Day collapsing or a potential collapsing. Then we had what was in the middle of the night, Seth versus Dom, on a one-on-one match again, which ended up in a no contest.
It was, again.
Before the match even started.
Yeah, and then it was just a ploy to just sort of jump Seth Rollins. Out came Sammy and KO for the save, and then announced a 6-man tag match.
Yep.
And yeah, Judgment Day got the better hand of all three. And
Good to see them win.
yeah, and denies all the potential.
Speculation,
All the speculation that there is beef in the Judgment Day.
So polar opposite to the way Raw ended last week.
Yeah.
Are we led to believe that was just a bit of paper over the cracks, or there's still issues between Priest and Bella?
Oh, there's still definitely going to be
I
beef.
think there's still issues. I think it's like you said, there's probably paper over the cracks. They're just trying to make it look like as if there is peace again between the two. But when SummerSlam rolls around, and maybe afterwards we could see what else will happen. There could probably be cracks. Maybe Damien tries to cash in again, and maybe he gets distracted again or something like that.
What if Finn wins and Damien cashes in on Finn?
Because that's what
the calm before the storm.
Damien Priest did say in their backstage segment, if you don't win,
I got it.
everything's insured.
Yeah.
Everything's
Or
covered.
SummerSlam. Getting a bit nostalgic here. SummerSlam 19 years ago. Randy Orton beat Chris Benoit.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Could Finn beat Seth? A heel beats the face, then the other heel turns as well.
It could happen. It's definitely
There's
potential.
limitless possibilities at the moment with them. It could go either way.
Would it be out of the realm of possibility for a winner-take-all match in a 6-person tag?
Well, I have to put the money in the bank on the line. too.
No. KO and Sammy and Seth team up to take on Judgment Day as a unit.
Well, this is the other issue.
It's a good
Winner
idea.
take all.
This is the other issue that you touch on here. Now, I'm not a fan of chopping and changing every couple of months. Are the undisputed titles too much on KO and Sammy, or should they be releasing the tag title to another brand?
It's like
It needs to be split, especially to get ready for Survivor Series.
There's
as well.
plenty of tag team depth.
yeah.
Always has been for the last 10 years.
It's like I said in a previous episode. I think they should split those titles up and have Sammy and KO just hold the Raw ones. It's probably the
How
best
do you
way.
go about splitting the titles up? So Sammy and KO put up one set of titles for a match and they lose them?
It could be like that.
Does that diminish their prestige? Does that diminish their prestige with the title that they retain and they have?
No, really, because in that promo on Raw with Sammy and Kevin Owens backstage, they were listing all the tag teams they beat in Raw, with the titles.
So you think it might be leading to SmackDown?
It could be that, because even as I was saying, Judgment Day walked in and they were talking about it as well. Like we were saying,
Yeah, we're gonna
We
come.
can
We're gonna eventually get all the gold.
Help me out a bit here. Around the time of WrestleMania, who was another good face tag team apart from KO and Sammy? So Ricochet and
Braun Strowman.
Okay.
On either brand or just
Either brand, another one.
Straight Profits.
Street Profits,
Alpha
Academy.
Academy.
We'll go with yes. All right, we'll go with Ricochet and Braun. If Ricochet and Braun beat Jay and Jimmy, suspend disbelief and say Jay and Jimmy weren't as booked as fun as they have been the last few years. If Ricochet and Braun beat Jay and Jimmy at Montreal in Elimination Chamber, yet we still had a WrestleMania main event night one for Sammy and KO, would it have been as prestigious?
No.
No.
I don't think.
Not really, no.
That's kind of what I'm getting at here.
Yeah.
My problem is with this, if you're going to beat them for one, does it diminish when the other team comes to beat them for the second one?
I think it's easy as saying, as having them drop those belts as a collective double title to another tag team, and the night after, on Raw, SmackDown, whichever, they come out, they have a presentation, and Triple H gives them an undisputed tag championship, but then he comes out with a SmackDown championship or a Raw tag championship.
Yeah, that's what I was probably thinking about as well.
And he basically says that you guys are not the undisputed champions.
No, we need one, because they're drafted to Raw. They were originally drafted. to Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they have to represent Raw. So Triple H in kayfabe should say, we need tag team title representation on SmackDown. We'll be having a tournament. And that's why I think Pretty Deadly should be the
So a
first
similar
champions.
situation to what happened with Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins.
That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well. Do something, go down that same path.
Yeah. Just unify them. Keep it as one on Raw.
And
then
change
make-
the design.
And change the design,
They
yes.
look like toys.
Yeah, and then make new ones for SmackDown.
Yeah.
It's like I said before, World Tag Team Championships for Raw with a new title design, and then WWE Tag Team Championships for SmackDown with another new design.
I think the plan is to eventually revamp the tag title since they've done it for the women's and the...
World titles.
And they did also revamp the Intercontinental US titles in the last few years as well.
Yeah, revamp. Because we've had these same tag title designs for the past 10 years, maybe a bit longer.
2010.
20, oh, so 13.
Since Carlito and
Primo.
Yep,
Yep.
so 13 years. Yeah, change them up. It's been longer than
Keep it
due.
fresh, keep it modern.
But yeah, moving on, we'll go to the first match of the evening, which was the tag team match between Drew McIntyre and Matt Riddle against Imperium of Ludwig Kaiser and Giovanni Vinci.
Who's
So-
the third member of Imperium again?
Who was in their corner, Cameron?
The Ring General.
The ring general has been a bit, he's been a bit tully lately, the ring
A bit
general.
standoffish.
Yeah.
Looks like he's hesitating against McIntyre, even though he beat him and Sheamus at the same time.
Are you saying it doesn't make sense, Cameron?
Vaguely.
But
Well,
this
why is he panicking now, not before?
I don't know, maybe because this is a revamped Drew McIntyre.
Maybe.
Apparently bigger.
Yeah,
He's coming back with a
maybe.
vengeance.
Maybe it's Drew McIntyre. Maybe he's confronted by his image. Maybe he's intimidated by that signing bonus that Drew McIntyre has in the back of his pocket. Maybe.
Nothing disappointing. He still has the sword in the entrance.
That's what I said
Yeah.
to Cameron yesterday.
Doesn't need it.
He doesn't
man.
need the, he doesn't need,
Goddamn Braveheart.
he doesn't need to he doesn't need to have
Goddamn
the
McMahon.
sword. He doesn't need to have that sword to look tough. He doesn't. It's like I said before, we need 2020 Drew McIntyre back. Drop that sword and just have him come out and be a destroyer.
The Scottish psychopath.
Yeah. No, that's... Yeah, but to me, like, even with the build-up between Sheamus and Drew, with Gunther at Mania, Gunther had no issues attacking Sheamus and Drew.
Yeah,
because there needs to be one contender, and he was happy to fight either one of them. And now, all of a sudden, he does not even want to have a bar of Drew now.
Yeah.
Why is he scared now, not before?
I think we've got to believe in at least kayfabe. That I think Gunther knew, Sheamus and Drew are friends, they're buddies, even though they brawl every other night. They would eventually build the crap out of each other at WrestleMania. So all the attention would have been on Gunther.
Yeah.
So maybe Gunther in the back of his head thinking, oh no, this is a focus Drew McIntyre. I really got to pull up my socks now.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, makes sense.
It's a good way to look at it, yeah.
Maybe. We'll see.
I'll go around the table. Do you guys think Drew's the man at SummerSlam?
No.
No.
I'm still sticking to Rumble.
I have no idea. Part of me thinks Drew would be the guy to eventually do it, but part of me still is holding on to that belief that he's holding it to Rumble.
John, what do you reckon?
I don't know, I'm very 50-50. Like a part of me says maybe McIntyre could be the one to dethrone him because he's certainly believable enough.
Yeah.
Like he's somebody physicality and size-wise to take on Gunther. But a part of me says, I don't know, maybe he loses it a bit further down the track and like you guys are saying, maybe he loses it at the Rumble
Yeah.
and then pulls double duty and wins the Rumble match at the end of the night.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Because I think I've said it before. I think as soon as he loses that IC title, he's going to go straight to World Heavyweight title picture.
I don't think there's any time to be having any fluff in the middle. I think it needs to be elevated as soon as he drops that IC belt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be as early as SummerSlam or as late as the Rumble, but he needs to be elevated into that title picture right away. It doesn't matter if it's a Raw or the SmackDown title.
Yeah, I reckon that's unanimous with all of us. We all think that.
Joe,
Yeah.
what do you think? Do you think Drew
the one?
McIntyre is the man to beat Gunther for the IC title?
Do I think he's the man, or do I think he will beat him?
Tomato.
I probably gave my answer away there. I don't think he is the man, and I don't think he will beat him at SummerSlam. And don't ask me who's going to beat Gunther for the title, because at the moment I don't know.
There's a guy at NXT called Bron Breakker.
Could
That'd be
be.
nice.
He's been a bit quiet lately.
Well,
I think they're getting ready for SummerSlam.
well, speaking of Bron, a couple of weeks ago he had that little backstage segment with Sean where he goes, "You can't tell me what to do."
Yeah,
Could that be the lead up that he wants to go to the main roster?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it comes at the right time with SummerSlam being here. The other call-up season. I think there's no problem bringing him up now, building him
Yeah.
up for a couple months. I wouldn't mind if they hold Gunther off until the Mania after, when all the bloodline stuff is done and Cody is okay to drop the belt. I would not mind Bron Breakker being built up to beat Gunther at WrestleMania.
It's probably one of the more believable ones after Drew.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's the only one I can think of. Like I said the last 2 episodes, it falls into the Roman Reigns category of this title reign where I think it needs to be somebody who has not faced him yet.
Yeah, I think so. Could be.
At least one-on-one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, we'll get there soon enough. But yeah, after that, we had a little flashback of NXT Speaking of the Devil with the Ricochet and Logan Paul segment. Arch, what was your thoughts with the flashback?
I missed the Velveteen Dream.
Oh, did too. Sorry about
Good to see him finally pull that out. I was kind of hoping for a bigger reaction from a New York crowd for that pop, but
yeah.
the NXT crowd does make everything a bit louder.
Oh, I've just had an epiphany.
What's that?
With Tiffany?
Sorry to cut you off. No,
Tiff Stratton?
That's not her name. No, that's not her name either. Cameron, what were you saying about people who work with celebrities and the rub they get?
Well, whoever works with celebrities ends up getting the big push in the end.
Could Ricochet be the new ring general?
Well,
Not too long ago he had a belt.
he had his chances twice on SmackDown last year. And
I think they elevated him. They
Yeah.
made him recognisable again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but even then, WWE need a big high flyer, and Ricochet's the one to do it.
It's over time to bring the Cruiserweight division back.
Is it feasible to see him beating Gunther for the Intercontinental title?
It can potentially happen.
Because Gunther was
Could you,
the.
could you close your eyes and imagine Ricochet beating Gunther 1, 2, 3 for the Intercontinental title?
I can't see that.
No? Archie?
After
Well,
last year's
Mustafa
performance,
Ali could
Hope spots.
be somewhat believable at Night of Champions.
Yeah.
Then
I
Ricochet.
think Ricochet has more than a chance, especially with that promo he cut on Raw.
Yeah, well, tell us a bit about that promo, Ken.
He's doing it for the fans.
That was heartfelt.
Yeah, that was his best promo.
yeah,
Yeah.
on the main roster, I should say, not
At
NXT.
least, yeah.
It was Monday Night Promo, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. What can I say? It's just Ricochet doing the best he's ever done so far.
Finally taking the shackles off him when it comes to the microphone.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he never really spoke too much.
I
before.
can't tell you one promo he's cut
Yeah.
of the main roster in 4 years.
Yeah.
There you go.
It was good to finally have him cut a promo on the mic in the middle of the ring, and it's a pretty solid and heartfelt promo with that, where he spoke about how he works himself to the bone for the fans. That's why he's there and does what he does every week.
Who came out to confront him?
Maverick. Logan Paul.
What?
Promo.
Wait, you talking about Logan Paul
Yeah.
confronting
Ricochet.
Ricochet? Yeah.
Yeah.
So you threw me off there. I'm like, of course, we're talking about Logan Paul and Ricochet. Yeah. No, it was solid pudding. Bit of a dead reaction.
It was.
I think because everyone expected it.
And everyone blew their gaskets out booing Dom.
Yeah. I think the fans just use
All
up
3
a lot of
entrances, by the way.
energy. Yeah, they use up a lot of energy booing Dom, so they're probably a little less hot for Logan Paul. But he still did get some boos here and there. I heard them. But obviously not as loud as Dom, but
So we're led to believe that to be programmed for SummerSlam.
yep.
Ricochet, Logan Paul.
Probably be the match of the night too.
I think it most probably will be. Yeah.
I think he's the most agile and lightest worker he's worked with so far, Logan Paul.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
could see a bit more.
unless when
athleticism
unless when they count the Mysterios, but yeah.
Yeah, more one-on-one. Yeah,
But one-on-one wise, I think Ricochet's probably the
might see a bit more
Viral moments.
viral moments. Exactly, that's what I'm looking
And
for.
it did get confirmed that Logan Paul did get engaged.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Did he?
at Lake
after Money in the Bank.
Prime's
So we all
paid for that
know,
wedding.
yeah, so we all know how hectic Logan Paul's schedule already is. Is there a chance that I know he re-signed the contract after WrestleMania. Is there a chance that we might not see him as often after SummerSlam?
Possibly so. I think.
We'll see him at the Rumble again.
I think it's only when you want to showcase him.
Yeah,
You
so,
don't need to have him on there every
When's
pay-per-view.
the last time he's won a match?
Miz?
yeah, when you beat Miz.
Miz.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Mania.
asking. Mania.
4
2
months
years
ago. No, this year. Oh, no.
No, he
No, it
lost
was last year.
Last year.
Late
No,
last year.
last
No, it
year.
was Miz and Seth. Logan
Wait,
Paul and Seth Rollins this year.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
wait. No, it was Logan versus Miz at SummerSlam last year.
It
Yes.
was.
SummerSlam,
I keep thinking
yes.
that's WrestleMania.
No,
Yeah.
WrestleMania last year
Was the tag match.
Was the tag
the
match?
mousetrap match.
That was
No,
that was
Sami
Sami
Zayn.
Zayn. The
Was
last,
that last year?
yeah,
Yeah.
last year Logan Paul had a tag team match with the Miz against the Mysterios,
We did too.
and then at SummerSlam he had the one-on-one match with the Miz, which he won, and then his next match after that was the one at Saudi against Roman.
There we go. Got a little wires across the whole board there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But even then, I know like the fans like to boo the crap out of Logan Paul. I guess because it is Logan Paul. But
It's strictly just because he's Logan Paul.
Yeah.
yeah,
If it was any other guy in that same scenario, it'd be mixed.
yeah. But
Yeah.
deep down, I think everyone respects him for what he's done so far in the ring.
Yeah.
I think it's they just like to boo him. It's not
Yeah.
because we
Yeah.
want you to go
Well,
away.
that's what I'm about to say, Cam. Has he become part of the furniture so much that he doesn't need a nuclear heat reaction every time he comes out because he's seen as a serious competitor now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like, oh my God, it's that guy we only see every 6 months, the most viral bloke in the world. He's now part of the furniture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even backstage, the other wrestlers are really rating him.
I
Yeah.
don't think he's put a foot wrong with anyone.
Yeah.
He's done
No.
his job and leaps and bounds over what anyone has expected from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually worked hard to do what he does in the ring.
He is one I'd love to see on a full-time basis. I
Yeah.
think if he ever gave up all those billions, I'm sure he'd make a great fit as a full-time worker on
Yeah,
the
and then
roster.
it's just going to grow his audience even more.
100%.
Like, besides YouTube, the next probably biggest popularity basis is WWE.
Oh, easily. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we can't deny that WWE has actually produced some of the biggest movie stars in the world now.
Rock, Batista, John Cena.
I think you start that conversation, you end it with The Rock as the biggest star in Hollywood.
Yeah.
Well, he was. No, he was literally the most paid actor.
And he's been on top for 20 years now.
And I still say the best actor to come out of WWE was Batista.
Done wonders for him.
Yeah. And everyone's actually loving Batista in the studios whenever he does filming.
Great in the Marvel series.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Even in comedy movies. Who thought he would be a funny bloke?
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's amazing how much, or especially in the ruthless aggression, ruthless aggression, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, what am I thinking of? But yeah, a lot of top stars becoming movie stars now. And we could even potentially see that with this generation with Seth Rollins as well.
Seth
Yeah,
Rollins,
Seth
Rollins
Rollins
in
in the Marvel movie.
The Marvel movie.
Captain America, New World Order.
And I'm just taken by the Joker skit he did.
Oh, yeah. How could
Yeah.
I forget that?
Let's not forget, this isn't Seth's first movie debut either.
What was he in?
Sharknado.
Was that the one Chris Jericho was in?
no.
I think so.
Yeah, he was in that. He was in that.
Even Kurt Angle was in one of them too.
Oh, wow, Sharknado.
Jaws could never.
Yeah, let's just know the chauffeur of Triple H, whatever that movie was.
the chaperone.
The
Yeah.
chaperone.
Oh, mine went straight to DVD, just like yours.
Yeah. But moving on to the next section, we had Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark on a one-on-one match.
Very surprising.
Now, there was a bit of conjecture of whether that match was going to go ahead.
Yeah, apparently Becky was meant to be injured.
What, a
She
real
really
life
did.
injury?
Yeah.
Wow.
But she looked fine.
Yeah.
She did.
What injury was she supposed to have? Like, what was?
I think she had an injury from the Money in the Bank match.
Maybe a sprain or something, nothing to write her off TV.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So
because
I think they've got to wrap up that storyline now.
Yeah.
Yep.
And one thing we've been always teasing them three about was the interferences and how sloppy they've been. But when Trish Stratus interfered,
Yeah.
it was actually a clean one for once, not a clunky one.
Yeah, it was well executed.
But yeah, I don't even know where this is going anymore.
I think they're
feel
gearing up just for a straight up Becky versus Trish.
Yeah.
One-on-one. I don't think Lita comes back. I don't think
it just needs to end there. Then and there.
I think it is.
I think SummerSlam they'll have the one-on-one match, and that's probably the way they'll wrap up the feud. Becky will get one over Trish,
And I think we'll see Trish or Zoe's true colours come after the loss at Mania. Oh, sorry, SummerSlam.
Yeah, that'll definitely happen, I reckon.
I think
Maybe
that's
the start of Zoe's solo push.
yeah. That's probably what they'll
Right
do.
off Trish.
Yeah, because I'm giving all the credit to Trish at the moment, but
She's appeared a lot more than anyone thought she would for this program.
especially for a comeback.
I
Yeah,
thought she was gone.
Yeah.
I thought Night of Champions was going to be her last match.
Yeah, that's what I thought as well.
Even
but-
wrestling on Raw, she does not have to do that, and she did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
I think she just wants to just let people know that she's still got it.
Yeah, she
sure
does.
she's
As she should.
I'm sure she's getting well compensated as well.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, moving on to that, we had the Maxine Dupree Afro Academy graduation ceremony.
That was cute.
That was
it was
that was
cute.
funny.
It was actually.
that was actually pretty good. Like, that
I
was
liked
well
it.
executed.
I'm telling you, I've hinted about it the last. You're going to tell us what happened, but I've hinted about it the last few weeks. The storyline's becoming more serious every week.
Yeah.
Who interfered, Cameron?
Surprisingly, the whole ceremony went pretty clean until the jacket came into play. And we had the Viking Raiders and... John, would you like to do the honours?
Oh, Valhalla.
Yeah.
Said a name wrong, John.
No, I'm not the guy who normally does it.
You did it last week.
I did it.
It was Archie who did it.
That
Was it
wasn't
you?
me, that was Patricia.
Should we just retake that?
Nah.
This is a SummerSlam
No,
match,
we like
ladies
that.
and gentlemen. There are no ladies here, gentlemen. This is a SummerSlam match, I'm telling you.
For the ladies listening.
1-on-1, Valhalla and Maxine.
I think it's a triple.
Because they already had the mixed
I
match.
know they've already had it.
But this will be like a proper...
Yeah, this might be the blow-off.
Yes?
They keep going with it. Why would they continue with this storyline?
Yeah.
Unless there's a turn. Unless there's a Maxine turn.
No, she's praising Gable and Otis together.
Otis,
Well,
yes.
it's almost darkness before dawn.
I'll ask you guys this. Was anyone else as worried as I was when Chad took his time with that jacket?
How so?
mean?
Like,
He's just thinking there was a turn coming or someone's coming out.
I think they were just trying to burn time because Maxine couldn't get the gown off.
I heard that. Because I was just praying that the turn wasn't happening there because it was actually a happy moment.
Yeah, it was very wholesome.
and the funny thing was the crowd was behind it.
One of the bigger reactions of the night.
Yeah, and the crowd's going with it. It's funny that when you hear the whole crowd go shush, you think they're booing half the time.
Yeah.
But no, it was a clean thing to see, and it was different for once.
Yeah.
And we're getting a bit of comedy-esque a bit now in this new era.
And Otis was so quick to take his gown off.
Yeah.
Why couldn't Maxine get half naked that quick?
Because Otis gets half naked every week every time he's in the match.
He put the show on for us. That was the word.
The pig gown was cute.
Yeah.
But what is I don't know. What's the thing that Otis always screams every week? He's like, yeah, baby, or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They figured
Kool-Aid
out-
Man.
Oh, baby, that's the other podcast.
Oh, it's
Oddly enough, Otis and the Kool-Aid Man have the same body shape. But yeah, that was a clean section anyway, but it was great. It's actually good to see other people besides Roman and Seth and whoever else gets the regular time. It's actually nice to see the mid-carders get more time on TV nowadays.
Yeah,
Dare I say they carry the non-main event part of Raw?
they are.
Yeah.
They definitely are.
Yeah.
Sorry, Joe.
No, Cam, when you come to the end of Raw, I want you to throw back at me. I've just been doing my research for the last couple of minutes, so remind me of that. There was a bit in that main event, and apparently what happened afterwards, apparently. So throw it back to me on that.
Yeah, we'll get back to that a bit later
throw it
on.
back to me, sorry, yeah, because I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, not only that, but yeah. After that, we had probably the most dead reaction of the night, which was Shayna Baszler versus Emma.
Well, someone likened it to going up to a shark and telling the shark, oh, congratulations on killing that other human being. Then how long did that match go for?
It was
A minute?
probably about the same length as Cross and AJ
That
Styles.
was probably about 3 minutes.
As we were watching, I was saying, I'll give Emma one more move before she taps out. And
She did
Much
one
to my
move.
surprise, there was 2 more moves before she got put in. Was it an armbar?
The Kirifuda clutch.
Kirifuda
Yeah,
clutch,
they're pushing her to the moon.
Well,
Yeah.
we saw what that led to. It led to Rowdy Ronda Rousey getting a bit of a heat back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like the crowd was more for Rousey this time around.
That was the loudest cheer she's got in a long time.
Probably since her
Since the
first
heel turn.
2018.
Yeah, since
Yeah.
2018.
Are people thinking like me? Are people looking into it? Maybe it's a bit of wishful thinking on my behalf. Why did Shayna exactly turn on Ronda?
It's a bit weird because last week was the complete opposite.
Well, yeah, I mean, are people sitting there, because I know Cornette questioned it in between our podcasts. Are people questioning why did Shane and why are we blurring Ronda now?
I think it took us a week or two to establish who was heel, who was face, especially feeding Emma to Shayna like that.
Yeah.
But after this, the crowd was practically booing Shayna in that match.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. Like maybe we were confused the first week, but I think a bit more clarity now.
Who's still heel?
Who's our heel? Who's our face? Who we should be cheering?
The crowd's still going to be... The majority of the crowd of the WWE Universe will be cheering Shayna, regardless.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
But yeah, like, it was just such a mixed
messy.
reaction. It was
It's
very
messy.
messy. I think it's just because... what did Shayna say in the middle of the match and the crowd just did not react at all? Oh, who wants a free souvenir?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could have came up with something better than that.
that's
It's
not
rubbish.
believable.
So that was after she took her hair tie off or something. Wasn't
No,
that-
she was gonna put Emma in an armbar and like as if she was saying, "I'm
She's
gonna
gonna
rip."
tear her arm off.
She's gonna tear her arm
Oh,
off
okay.
and give it
That
to a
one,
fan.
When am I going to believe it?
The crowd went mild.
Yeah. But yeah, enough of that for now. We've got nothing much else to say about that. Then we had the little Cody Rhodes promo with Brock Lesnar soon afterwards. Usual stuff, I like to per se.
We all have our own Brock Lesnar in our lives.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who is your Brock Lesnar, John?
I don't even know if I've got one.
The battle of getting Kane Mint.
Yeah, you know, yeah, that's my Brock Lesnar. Whichever person doesn't have Kane Mint to sell to me is my Brock Lesnar.
Archie, what's your Brock Lesnar?
Is it a certain fella at a cafe?
No. Come back to me. Anthony, who's your Brock Lesnar?
My Brock Lesnar was currently Joe with that lolly tip he had.
Oh, jeez.
I don't know.
Can we have a bit of backstory of that lolly tip?
Well, we were all worried it was going to be... How long is that candy tip been sitting around for? Was it-
only 3.5 years. What's your problem?
Well, that's what the doctors are going to ask you in 2 hours.
I just got to be worried for your health, Joe.
We're just looking out for you.
At least it still tasted good.
Well, I might be my own Brock Lesnar if you people continue this shenanigans.
All right, so if you
So what is your real Brock Lesnar, Joe?
As in domination.
Just
your Brock
someone
Lesnar,
has
your
a Brock
Brock
Lesnar.
like your own obstacle in life.
Oh, my own obstacle in life.
It's going to get very deep.
Oh, God. Get the psychologist on the phone, please.
There you
My own
go.
obstacle in
Therapy.
life. My own obstacle in life is to not put so much emotion into my sporting teams.
Ooh. Archie, got
But that
something
doesn't
yet?
affect what I do. I'm still a happy chappy.
Similar to what Joe, my Brock Lesnar at this moment is the Penrith Panthers.
Oh, jeez.
As a Melbourne Storm fan, being the Cody Rhodes, everybody loves Melbourne, right?
Yeah.
Everybody
Yes.
loves Melbourne.
Yes.
Watch all the viewers leave after
Especially
this.
Parramatta and Canterbury and St George fans.
We won those titles fair and square.
Deal with it. Yeah, me being a Bulldogs fan, I think if I had to say the same thing as Archie, my Brock Lesnar will be
Franklin
the
Pele.
the other. Oh, him too. The other 16 teams in the comp.
It's weird saying that number, 16 in the comp.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, super coach.
Oh, no.
So, Cameron, who is your Brock Lesnar in life?
Gerald Skelton's debut.
Jeez. He wasn't that bad. He was good.
No, him making a debut.
Joe, finally got your Bulldogs talk on the podcast.
There we go. We got
After
it
10
in the end.
episodes.
We got it in the end.
That's it. The one and done. One day.
Hey, speaking of 10 episodes, at least we made a milestone for now for once.
Yeah, we did.
A lot to be proud of.
I'm surprised we didn't tear each other's heads off.
Let's hope we have
episodes
another
ago.
10 in.
It's only because we see each other once a week,
Here's to another
Yeah.
10.
according to the viewers.
Only once a week. Joe's not here every other day.
Yeah.
Pre-tape schedule.
Yeah. And probably the match of the evening after this was the no DQ match between The Miz and Tommaso Ciampa.
I wasn't expecting no DQ on a free-to-air show.
Wasn't expecting the result neither.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
It had to be resolved. There was no DQ. But hey, Miz got his first win of 2023.
Yeah.
Good on him.
Yeah.
Gonna push him to the moon.
Although it was due to Bronson Reed, he still finally got a win, but
A returning Bronson Reed.
He's a bit lost, Bronson.
Hired gun, Bronson Reed.
I think, because I think Corey Graves alluded to that. He said maybe the Miz paid him off to come and have his back, and because he's alluded to that's what Bronson Reed has done in the past, where somebody pays him well, he'll come and assassinate that guy's opponent for him.
Well, I think Ciampa might have to find someone to even the odds.
Yep.
Has to do it himself, I reckon.
Anthony, you're on fire tonight, cuz.
I think there's a certain Johnny Gargano waiting with him.
I'm there wrestling.
I'm there wrestling.
But the thing is, like, that aside, that Ciampa and the Miz actually had a pretty solid match. Like, it was pretty good for what it was.
Great to see Ciampa.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just so glad to see
He
him.
looks jacked. Like, I know he was jacked, but we know he's been ripped and cut, but
Now-
he's put on the muscle. He's put on the size.
Yeah.
Looks great.
I think he needs to to have that bit of durability.
I think so, yeah.
'Cause
Is
it feels like the weekly shows is paying a price on him.
Yeah, like, the guy's been so unlucky with all the injuries he's had the last couple of years. So, like, I'm hoping this time around, fingers crossed, less time on the sidelines and more time being able to get in the ring.
Yeah.
But I think what's happened in this match, it could probably lead to a blow-off between Miz and Ciampa at SummerSlam. Maybe a one-on-one match or maybe a tag team match if...
I think there's still a bit of time for Ciampa to fight that.
I'm still sticking with the DIY reunion.
Yep.
So maybe that's what they
See,
do.
we have that, but then
Especially because you're going to need two people to take out Bronson. So why
That's
not,
it,
why
yeah.
not be Dexter and Gargano?
that answered my question. Who would be Mrs. partner?
Bronson Reed.
yeah.
Yeah.
In a 3-on-2.
And not only that, that's actually a bit of a throwback because who did Bronson Reed debut with?
Thanks,
Did you guys forget?
Was it The Miz?
With the Miz against Gargano and Dexter with
That's
for the
why I
money.
didn't find the combination surprising.
Yeah.
So I was pretty sure that's how he appeared first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, Miz got some allowance money off his wife.
Has
Yeah.
big balls.
I think that's probably what they'll do. Even if it's just Miz versus Ciampa one-on-one, but it seems like it'd be more likely to be a tag team match because they have hinted a few times that Gargano could be back on TV soon enough with
Yeah.
they've done
And-
those promos. So
Not only that,
Looking
it
forward
would
to
be
it.
good to bring back a face tag team because once Sammy and KO lose, who else is a face tag team besides the Alpha Academy?
yeah, and especially a tag team who is not a thrown together one and a tag team that will be credible.
Yeah. So, yeah, long way to go, but yeah, we could get more face tag teams and more tag teams to be added to the roster in general.
Well, that's what we've been hoping for a while now.
Yeah. So yeah, at least now with the main roster now we're getting depth, which is a big thing. We don't have to see everyone every day of the week,
Yeah.
which is good. But yeah, speaking of other tag teams, we had Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green versus Kaden Carter and Katana Chance.
That was all a bit all over the place, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit sloppy in my opinion. But honestly, given their first debut match with Katana and Kaden, I feel like their performances haven't been the best now that they're on the main roster.
Still a bit green. Still a bit nervous for the main roster.
Yeah,
I think the experience will catch up with them and they'll
Yeah.
get to that level where we find their matches good.
But to be fair to them with this match, like they did lose, but they didn't lose clean. They had to, like Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green won the match because Sonya Deville held down Chelsea Green's legs on the rope as she was pinning. I forgot which one of the pair it was, but they lost. Katana and Carter lost dirty, so I guess that don't look too bad in defeat. But
storytelling wise, yeah, but just
still,
Just-
like,
skill-wise? skill wise, it just hasn't been up to
Yeah.
par. I feel.
No.
Yeah, they didn't gel.
like
Yeah.
they probably need the right tag team to work with, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's why you don't have.
And it's hard to say that with the women's tag division.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
like
there's not a lot you can say, we can put there and they'll have a great match.
Yeah, because it's like we've
Yeah.
said before, there's been so many women's tag teams that are just thrown together. They don't have any proper chemistry, so you just don't know what you're going to get.
Before that match,
Yeah, we had a teaser with Raquel and Rhea.
I like that.
Yeah, I was going to bring that up.
Believable.
Yeah,
Yeah. So it's not the first time we've seen them to.
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm still sticking with Raquel to dethrone Rhea.
Could be.
And that's not one that has to happen at Mania.
No.
Not everything has to be done at Mania. It doesn't have to be a long build.
What about the continuity era?
Which era?
Continuity.
Continuity, yeah.
Yeah.
Endo Shearer coming.
Again,
Endo Shearer have already been here. What's that
they
about?
came already, yeah.
They came and they saw.
And then
Why are they coming? Why are they coming if they've already appeared on Raw?
I think they're just trying to catch up with V coming to Raw again.
Yeah, and
That guy cubs a lot.
I don't know, maybe this
Because of V, that's why they had the 1 billion population.
Sorry.
I don't know, but maybe with this promo, like
In all fairness, he said Shanky, who was a WWE
He's
superstar.
a wrestler.
yeah,
Yeah.
the accent.
That was Spanky.
You know, his name was Shanky.
That was Shanky.
Spanky.
Brian
Brian
Ken-
Kendrick.
Oh.
Oh, fucking egg.
I created my own podcast of blackjacks and hookers. In fact, forget the blackjack.
Why don't you just invite B Money Inc. while you're at it?
Oh
Can
wow.
they please get to WWE already?
Well, James Storm was on NXT for a little bit.
That was a
He
good
was.
2 weeks.
Yeah. And then he decided to start a family and the schedule wouldn't work with him.
And
What
he's
a bastard.
Yeah.
Like, imagine that. Imagine being 38 years old. You're one of the hottest free agents. Oh, yeah, we're just going to bring you on a 2-week trial. He was like the only one that came during that time that didn't stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well. That's fine. But moving back to the main event of the evening, Joe, what did you want to discuss about?
When was Dominic and Seth announced?
At the beginning of the
Start
night.
of the
On the
show.
internet, was it? Yeah.
So the intel was start of the show.
Start of the show when they all came out and
It
Seth
was a
had his
pre-show.
buffalo chicken. Yeah,
Seth
so,
and Dominic.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently, this is what I've read up, and I wanted to be a bit careful before I wanted to read up on it exactly. And then I just thrown together, and apparently the
Six-man
the
tag.
6-man tag was actually called. That was a spot called through the show to put that together. And a couple of people weren't happy about the creative differences there. What's Sami Zayn, the Blue Lightning? What's it called?
Blue Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt.
Apparently, when he delivered that to Finn Balor, he was a bit reckless. Then the finish, which had Priest give the South of
Heaven.
to Sami Zayn, if you go back and look at it, there's a lot of extra mustard on that.
Mm.
Then they went backstage and there were words said. So keep that in mind when watching Raw, SmackDown, the pay-per-views in the upcoming weeks, whether now that causes an issue, if there's an actual issue between Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens,
in Judgment Day.
Seth, and the Judgment Day. So watch out for that next week. If I wouldn't be too surprised if you don't see him cross paths too much next week.
Mm. Yeah, see how we go from there. But they can't kill the storyline now, especially
Yeah, no.
especially when it's the biggest storyline on the Raw show at the moment.
Yeah.
But yeah, Joe, I'll go back to you again. I'll give you the honors for the question for everyone to just get to know us a bit more better. What question did you have in mind today?
Most shocking betrayal or most shocking turn? Most shocking turn.
Most shocking turn.
Yeah, most shocking heel turn.
Hilton.
Your turn, to be specific.
Yeah,
Okay.
most shocking heel turn. We can go to face turn another week. Yeah,
Yeah,
most shocking heel turn.
Yeah, why not? Arch, how about yourself? I think you've already got one on mind already.
Please come back to me. Please come back to me because this
I'll put a caveat on that question. Give two answers. Pre-2010 and post-2010.
Ooh.
Ooh,
Okay.
that's a tough one.
Okay.
I think it might make it a little bit easier. Yeah, at least it does for me.
Because I think a lot of us would say the main one.
I reckon at least three of us will have identical answers.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. I'll go first.
Okay.
Yep. With your,
Set the bar, Joe.
Yeah,
with your permission, Cameron.
yeah, set the bar.
Bash at the Beach 1996. Hulk Hogan. Turning on WCW and joining the New World Organization of Wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
which later became the New World Order. Yeah. So that was my pre-2010 answer. My post-2010 answer is Seth Rollins and the Shield.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I knew that one was going to be said.
Yeah, I'm surprised by that. Ooh. thought that would have been okay. That's interesting. Anthony, show us what you got. Not literally, please.
Pre-2010, as a kid, I was watching when Jeff Hardy was being attacked, or not attacked, but like all these shenanigans that happened with him. Then lo and behold, we see Matt Hardy was behind all these.
And then, who was Jeff Hardy in the program with?
Edge,
yeah. Of all people. And we know what happened there.
And Matt Hardy and Edge, yeah. So watching that as a kid, I was like, well, why would he turn on his brother? Why now? Why this? So that stuck with me. And then post-2010, I'm going to say Ciampa against Gargano, breaking up DIY. And we all saw what came from that, all those matches and all the build-up. That was hectic.
That's fair. Archie?
Pre-2010, both answers I would have said have come true. Jeff Hardy.
Oh, really?
Jeff Hardy.
Oh, the Hogan.
The two I thought about pre-2010.
Okay. Well, Jeff Hardy's what, 09, isn't it?
Yeah, so
right before 2010.
It would have been that.
Yeah.
But I would have to say Hogan.
Yeah.
Because literally everything.
Literally
everything. We probably wouldn't be talking this wholeheartedly about this. About this sport.
About this product, don't we?
Yeah.
Post 2010.
Wait, so what is your answer then? It is Hogan.
Hogan. Jeff Hardy, Matt Hardy are close second for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
Post 2010 happened in 2018 when Dean Ambrose turned on Seth Rollins the night they won the tag title.
The reverse. Yeah.
Roman announced he had to go away for a little bit.
Yeah, very
emotional Raw.
Yep.
Broke my heart, especially to see Dean turn.
So Anthony and Archie's answers for post 2010, both Anthony pre 2010, Archie post 2010, both played on real life factors.
Yep.
Yeah.
What was happening between Edge and the Hardys and Roman and the very real dose of leukemia?
Yeah.
Everything that happened with Dean after that night, while he's still WWE, was subpar. But that night was very shocking.
Well, that only lasted another year anyway.
Not 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was towards the end. That was like
October.
28 October.
Yeah.
John, Archie, I'm sorry.
Good call on that. Which I didn't think anyone would pick up on the Jeff Hardy.
I was literally watching it as a kid. I was like,
we watched that live. I said when Matt was coming out, I said he's going to turn on.
Do you remember what that was
the first time I ever called something.
Do you remember what the original plan was?
No.
The guy who was supposed to be doing the attacks on Jeff Hardy was supposed to be Christian.
Really?
And don't you remember?
And they weren't sure if he was coming back yet. Because it all started around November, Survivor Series. Okay. Never thought about that. You know, at one stage they could have had Christian Edge versus the Hardys in 09.
It would have been beautiful.
We could have had that.
hey, at least in South Wales.
Alright, what is that?
Brian, please.
Fucking this means nothing.
What?
5 seconds. John, how about you?
Well, pre-2010, obviously it had to be Hulk Hogan. That was the first heel turn that popped up in my mind. Yeah. It was probably the best heel turn ever executed because who would have ever thought we'd see the ultimate babyface, who was a babyface for how many years before 1996 in the Hulkster turn heel, and it was done to complete perfection. It was just perfect.
It was do or die.
It was. It revitalized his whole career.
He thought he wasn't going to get out of the building alive that night.
Yeah. Like, it revitalized Hulk Hogan's career because he'd gone a little bit stale. And then that was the catalyst to the easily the most important era of pro wrestling, that being the Monday Night Wars.
Yeah.
Monday Night War, sorry. And then the post 2010, I'm surprised Archie didn't say this one, but CM Punk in 2012. He was the most popular babyface next to John Cena at that point, and I didn't see it coming.
I can't believe we've gone 3 answers after me and no one's picked Rollins and the Shield. Yeah,
I did think about it, but
I won't lie. I was thinking about saying that, but I feel like it wasn't shocking, especially with the tension he already had with Rock.
Yeah.
So, as a kid or as a teenager, it didn't really hit as shocking as what Dean did, especially watching it live.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. If I knew about it, it wouldn't have been maybe a shocking, but that broke my heart. But I know it came on Punk.
Yeah, that was my first thought because I don't think people would have expected it to happen at that point in time, midway through his title reign. Like, you think it'd probably happen maybe after he loses it. He just say like if he stayed a face through his whole title run and then he loses it, he gets angry that he lost it and he just puts him on the dark side. But they had him turn heel mid-reign.
He wasn't happy about it.
Oh.
He was like, all right, my merch is going to be cut in half.
What about you, Cameron?
Yeah.
Well, I want to try be a bit different because it's two I didn't expect during the Ruthless Aggression era. First one was for pre-2010 was Eddie and Ray.
I did mention that last week, the heartbreaking moment.
Yep.
Yeah.
And one I didn't see coming as well, Shawn and Hogan.
Ooh.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good.
No one expected that one, especially after that tag match.
Oh, for sure.
Good way to swerve.
Yeah.
4th of July too, wasn't it? 4th of July celebrations as well.
Was it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was.
Shame about the SummerSlam match after it, huh?
Oh well.
Good entrances. That was it.
Well, Hogan got his one.
I usually turn it off after they make their entrances. How about post 2010?
Post 2010. Shout out to Jodes picking the Shield turn. Besides that, if I had to throw it out a bone, Kevin Owens' debut in NXT when he turned on Sammy.
Oh, yes.
Because
that live.
that was the start of the rivalry, which never happened on NXT, and then moved on to the main roster and continued.
Sammy got injured right away.
Yeah. Even though my initial pick was Anthony's one of DIY.
I thought that would have broke your heart.
It did. You son of a bitch. But yeah, there's been very few decent heel turns, especially in the later 2010s. But I think the majority of the best ones were on NXT.
Yeah. Another one that goes
Hand in hand.
under the radar, pre-2010. If it wasn't for Hogan, maybe someone would have said this. Batista turning on Ray in 2009. That was heartbreaking.
Poor Ray.
You're supposed to be my friend.
Ray should have been dead.
Yeah, like Batista beat the holy hell out of Ray every
That was
second
bad.
week.
There's a photo of Batista choking out Ray on ringside.
And even
I mean,
It's supposed
we're
to
just
be-
throwing them out here now. We're just throwing them out.
Why
here.
not?
Honorable mention.
Scott Steiner, Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Massive.
And for me, another one pre-2010 in 2005 when Triple H turned on Ric Flair.
Yeah.
Oh, when he took the dog out back
Yeah.
and pulled
Yeah.
the trigger.
What else?
We're going to be retro here.
Austin 01 at WrestleMania.
Oh, nobody
that
ever-
was not coming, but yeah, one of them had to go the other way at one stage.
But nobody thought it would have been Austin.
Nobody would have thought it would have been The Rock either. It was like a twist around situation.
Was that number 4, number 5?
Four. Up to
I
four.
counted 5.
I've counted like 6.
5, yeah.
Fuck me dead.
It's like the Simpsons where they changed the flight line right over their house. The Matlock
You see
Expressway.
fucking Cameron's photo? The flight line directly over our house.
Where's the monorail when you need it? Monorail.
I got mono.
I just headbutted the ball with no fucking headgear.
Oh, yeah, it was 4 years. Go a bit retro here. The Mega Powers exploding with Randy Savage turning on Hogan.
Yeah, but Hogan pushed into that.
At the time, I know, but at the time, probably the biggest heel turn. Probably as Zabisco and San Martino.
Bigger than Sergeant Slaughter turning on and joining the Iron Sheik.
Turning on America.
How ballsy was Vince Russo that he finally got The Rock over and then turned him heel straight away to Survivor Series 98?
Yeah.
That was very
That's
ballsy.
pretty good.
Yeah, that was very ballsy.
Yeah.
What about when Cena turned heel in 2010? No, I'm joking.
How about the one we get a heel turn?
That was 2013 after Mania.
Yeah, what about when Cena turned heel and joined the Nexus Pro?
Well, how about when Daniel Bryan turned heel and joined the Wyatt family?
Oh, that's a great face turn.
Daniel Wyatt, as they called him.
Leave
for
that
2
for
weeks.
next week's question,
No,
John.
Cameron, I think we can be here all night.
Yeah.
Just like a... We're not going to put this in. Just like a infected dick, we're going to wrap this up.
Jesus Christ. It's too unintentional cutouts.
Yeah.
You know, the more New South Wales stay on 18, the funnier this is.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. But yeah, just to finalise everything, any other final thoughts before we end the show, guys?
Can't wait for next week until we get a fortnight away from SummerSlam.
Yeah.
The hype for SummerSlam is definitely building up.
I think you noticed the first one or two Raws after a pay-per-view. It's a bit of a drag, especially when the 2-hour summarised version isn't up yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a weird
Bit of a
occurrence.
stretch. Yeah. I guess that extra $1 billion helps him sleep.
Yeah. Actually, shockingly enough, we didn't see a Shinsuke this week.
Yeah. I just realised I know Shinsuke.
Did we get any women action on SmackDown?
No, just the 3 matches and that was it.
Nothing. No, yeah.
That was very bizarre. Like, mostly promos.
But don't forget, Bloodline segment took 45 minutes.
Yeah. It took up a good chunk of the show.
Nearly half the show.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much half the show when
Yeah.
you take out
Take
commercials.
that ads, yeah.
Yeah, 30 minutes of commercial.
Well, the beginning was ad free pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. Oh well. Anyways, Joe,
What do you got for us, Joe?
what have you got for us today?
It's the stock standard. Like, subscribe, report, alert, amber, red, orange. John, don't go. It's not green yet. Do what you got to do. Comment, get us out there. Because we're getting you guys out there.
Yeah.
Hookah N Headlocks. Name of the game.
Yeah. Anyways, guys, have a good night.
See you later, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye, butters.